Hi everyone, today I have a rant. If you know me in person, I have a rant every day, but for those who don't know me in person, this is today's rant. So I really dislike the term failed actor, and I am going to use an analogy to explain why. Let's pretend you have two people who have made barbecue sauce, independent of each other. And independent of each other, they have created similar tasting barbecue sauces, with similar branding and similar everything. It's quite the coincidence. And they end up at the same farmer's market or grocery store selling their very similar looking barbecue sauces, which are also similarly priced. Let's say the first seller sells two and the second seller only sells one. Well, you wouldn't say that one of them is half as successful as the other one, or one is twice as successful or anything. You wouldn't comment about one of them being a failed entrepreneur if he didn't sell any on that one particular day. You would just say this is someone selling barbecue sauce, or trying to. We're trying to get this business started. Now let's say seller number one sold two bottles and now has the capital to make another batch of barbecue sauce. Good for this person. Now let's pretend seller number two did not sell anything, but they want to try one more time before they give up. So they take on a little bit of debt, and maybe it's not really debt, maybe it's just they spend an extra $100 than they were planning to. The point is, seller number two has debt to contend with. Now, they go to the same market, and the customers say, oh, barbecue sauce number one, I had this last time, I liked it, I am going to buy it again, it is a safe choice. They look at seller number two and they say, oh, I'm not really familiar with this, I'm just going to pass this time. Seller number two still has not made a sale, and still has debt. If this sounds like opportunity hoarding to you, there's a reason. Now, continuing with this admittedly hyperbolic example, let's say something changes. Maybe the grocery store changes its layout. Maybe the labor supply changes. Maybe the cost of ingredients changes. Well, who is more able to survive that? The person who actually has a little bit of starter capital and is selling barbecue sauce, or the person who has not sold barbecue sauce and is also a little indebted? And under those circumstances, who is more able to justify putting together some sort of slick marketing campaign? Now let's pretend someone observed this happening and concludes, sauce number one is clearly better than sauce number two. Sauce number two is a failed business. You know, the person who put sauce number one together, not only is it a better product, but that person clearly knew what they were doing. And the person who put together sauce number two, you know, that was a joke. That person is ignoring that both companies started from the same place. Sauce number two did not do anything wrong. Sauce number one got lucky. And good for sauce number one. But that doesn't mean sauce number one was better. It just means sauce number one was lucky and was able to leverage opportunities to get more opportunities. In this case, complaining about sauce number two does not help them, and it does not justify sauce number one's success. This is a long-winded way of saying it is possible to do everything correctly and still fail. Yes, sauce number one is doing really great. Yes, sauce number two is not doing very well, and we would not be surprised if sauce number two went out of business. But sauce number two is still doing better than sauce number three, because there was no sauce number three in existence for this very hyperbolic example. When it comes to referring to someone as a failed actor or a failed writer or a failed creative in some sense, who is doing the grading? Who is putting together the report card and sending it in the mail or electronically? If it's a person who has nothing to do with that particular industry, it is very difficult to take their suggestions seriously. Yes, you can think of people as failed actors and creatives anyway. However, it might be more healthy to think of someone as having a career that was only meant to last a certain period of time. It is very possible for an actor to go through their career and realize, hey, I don't actually like everything about acting. I like the acting part of acting, and the auditioning part can even be okay, but this part with the contracts is not great, or this part with the schedule is not great, or I just decided that this goal was more important to me and it wasn't feasible to do that while also doing the acting career. Your interests, your values, your goals, yourself, these are all things that are allowed to change over time, and we should not establish any sort of value associated with these things We should just let people be people. We should let people have their journeys. Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully this helped someone out. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons. Follow me on social media. If you have a question, leave a comment, and I will see you all next time.